Several of my viewers have asked me to do a little video about Shanna McCullough. Well, I was very lucky to work with her in one of my first movies, and I think it was one of her early films too, a little film I wrote called Let's Get Physical. It's about ballet. And when I first pitched it to Caribbean Films, the producer, Harry Money, said, "Ballet? Nobody wants to watch ballet." So I explained the story about it. And it's really not so much about the ballet dancing as it is these people who are involved in having a dance studio. Shana had an integral role, and she took her work very seriously. She had done some things in high school and acting and in theater and stuff, so she was kind of familiar with the whole deal about memorize your lines, try to be believable, that kind of thing, and she did it very well. But what really surprised me was that it did involve some ballet exercises and some dancing, and she was very good at it. She did a great job. So not only was she good at her acting and took her role seriously, she was also good at the dancing part. This movie was made in 1984, I believe it was. It might have been 1985. But this was one of the first movies that I wrote, and one of the second or third, maybe fourth movie that I shot. So this was great. It was good to work with somebody who was professional like her and took it seriously. Back in the day, we had pretty elaborate scripts. I mean, obviously the Ribald Tales of Canterbury, where it was a takeoff of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales with Middle English and all that kind of stuff. We even had costumes from Universal Studios. So obviously that was a pretty involved script. And I tried when I was writing movies, and I'd written, gosh, probably a dozen, I tried to make them believable and have motivation for the action scenes, and have characters that you really cared about, that you felt good when they finally got to be with the guy or the girl that they had wanted to be with, not just wall-to-wall action. You know, I wanted there to be a plot to it. And back in that day, the golden age, things were like that. We really tried to make it like a Hollywood movie that just happened to have a little more explicit scenes in it. So that was a fun movie to do, and it was one of my favorites. Shana was one of these people that, even though time went by, years had gone by, she didn't really change much. Not only did she not age very much, she kept her demeanor. She kept her level-headedness about her. She didn't go off the deep end with drugs or alcohol. I didn't see her getting into any strange, you know, covered in tattoos or piercings or strange behavior. She seemed to be the same person, pretty much, that she was after she got into the business and who she was years after being into the business. Now that says a lot to me, because the business can change you, and it's changed many people for the worse. And you've probably seen my videos about those who have met their demise in one way or another, mostly at their own hand, because of, you know, getting into the business and going from bad to worse. And as I've said many times before, nobody gets into this business because they had a perfect life and they have dozens of opportunities and they decided to choose this one. No. So Shana is one of the exceptions to the rule. She has her head on pretty straight. You know, we all have our moments, but for the time that I had known her over years, she always seemed to have her act together. You know, she never really seemed to be struggling emotionally. She subsequently married someone who was also in the business, but not in front of the camera. And I don't know if that relationship is still ongoing today, if they're still together. I don't know if they had children or not. I don't know, because I did leave the business in 1991. But I have fond memories of working with Shana, And I wish her well. I hope she's doing well. Thanks for watching.